everyone, to all the distinguished guests, the members from the trade councils, from the industry, and ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a pleasure to be here and a privilege to be associated and participate in this very important event, the Vanijya Saptaha, as a part of Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav, organized by the state governments and the Government of India. And of course, Farmexcel, who is the nodal coordinating agency for this particular event here in Telangana, which is actually setting out an enabling platform to foster trade and investment and drive exports and export potential of the Indian economy to achieve the vision of USD dollar 400 billion in exports. Export-Import Bank of India is a premier and a principal financial institution for coordinating working of institutions that are engaged in financing exports and imports. Exim Bank over the years has played a very catalytic role in facilitating India's integration with global economy by promoting, financing and facilitating India's international trade and investments. Just to give a little genesis about the organization, we are set up under the Act of Parliament and we are 100% owned by Government of India. We have a role in policy formulation and also in export project selections which under the economic diplomacy criteria. We have an international investment rating at par with the sovereign. The policy business of the bank is guaranteed and insured by the sovereign. We have a very strong regulatory position and we also have access to multiple sources of funds, both onshore and offshore. Now coming to our presence, we have 10 domestic offices across India with our headquarters in the financial capital, that is Mumbai. And we have 9 overseas offices. Exim Bank's exposure is across various geographies. We just highlighted what are the various products and where all we have funded or assisted companies across the world. Exim Bank is in the entire life cycle of a business, be it from pre-shipment, post-shipment to any company's investments abroad or for export production, for product development, import finance, and also in several advisory services as well. And over the years, we have grown from being a product-centric organization to a more customer-centric approach, and today we have leadership and expertise in internationalization of Indian companies. Coming to the flagship programs that the bank offers, we can categorize them into 2 major categories. One would be the export finance, the other one would be the export capability creation. Under export finance, we have products like the lines of credit, the buyer credit under NEI, project exports, and guarantees and LCs that are issued under these particular lines, as well as under the export capability creation, we have term loans, working capital, export facilitation programs, overseas investment finance, and this I will be elaborating in the next slides. In the recent past, we have launched a very unique program called the Ubarte Sitare program. Now, this is anchored by Exim Bank together with SIDBI, and this basically identifies companies which can be future champions and having a very good export potential. These companies generally have some kind of nicheness in terms of the technologies or the processes or the products, and are not able to export or reach out to export markets due to several challenges, maybe funding or maybe access to markets, etc. So what we're looking over here under the Ubarte Sitare program is that we would be offering mixed support in terms of funding as well as technical assistance and advisory services. The kind of assistance that we would be looking at would be in form of debt, both fund-based and non-fund based. We will also be looking at equity or equity-like instruments, and of course the technical assistance. So basically I have just covered, we're looking at mid-sized companies which have the ability to penetrate global markets. We have a cap of annual turnover up to 500 crores. Companies which have a good business model, very strong management capabilities, and are focusing on product quality. Some of the examples I just wanted to highlight over here under the Ubarte Sitare, which we have done in the recent past, is we have supported a company called Viv Lipids Private Limited, which is an MSME company, to part finance their capital expenditure, and this company is manufacturing materials which are used in making mRNA vaccines. Similarly, in the defense sector, we also have very recently associated with IdeaForge Technology Private Limited. We have sanctioned them non-fund based as well as cash flow deficit finance to execute a contract from the Ministry of Defense, Government of India, and IdeaForge is one of the largest manufacturers of unmanned vehicle, aerial vehicles. Coming to another product that the bank offers is a very, one of the premium products. This is called the Export Oriented Unit Program. This is for financing EOUs. It is extended not only to manufacturing sector, it can be to services sector as well. And the purpose of this particular finance can go for expansions, for modernizations, for existing units as well as setting up EOUs. The loans can be extended in Indian rupees, in US dollars or any other currencies that the bank deals with. The repayments and tenors are structured as per the requirement and generally are long term to the extent of maybe about 10 years, and a promoter's margin of 20% is generally stipulated for under this program. Some of the noteworthy investments that funding that we have done under the healthcare sector is our EOU loan to Shalby Limited for setting up 4 hospitals in Baroda, Jaipur, Indore and Surat. We've also sanctioned a long-term loan to the Hyderabad-based Biologically Limited. This is a 60 million term loan, which was for their, vaccine portfolio expansions. Coming to a few examples from the aerospace and the defense sectors, we have supported Dynamatic Technologies under the UAE program, as well as also part finance the expansion projects for Aerospace Processing India Private Limited. Another program that we also look into very in a focused manner is our program called the Production Equipment Finance or Import Finance. Now this is for acquiring equipments for projects and or for import of equipment. This is basically for the purpose of debottlenecking their business or manufacturing activities and for import of plant and machineries. Again, these loans can be in Indian rupees, US dollars or any other international currencies available with the bank. Tenors and repayments are suitably structured with appropriate moratorium, generally to the extent of about 7 years, and a promoter margin of 10% is generally stipulated for availing any kind of funding under this particular program. Some of the examples again in the healthcare sector, we have sanctioned a 250 crore to Heikel Limited for setting up for their expansion projects. Similarly to MCure Pharmaceuticals, we had given a PEFP loan for their modernizing project. Now coming to another product which the bank has a very unique value to add, this is called the Overseas Investment Finance. Exim Bank encourages Indian companies to invest abroad for setting up new facilities or for acquiring new companies overseas for the purpose of having access to international markets or to their brands and IPs. The facilities that are provided under the OIF program are generally term loans to the Indian companies for onward equity investments in the JVs or wholly owned subsidiaries, or a term loan directly to the wholly owned subsidiary or JVs of the Indian companies with the purpose of acquiring assets, acquiring companies, acquiring access in terms of brands or IPRs. As of March 31st, 2021, we have so far provided finance to about 637 ventures set up by 476 companies in 78 countries, and our aggregate assistance under this program stands at about 62,000 crore. Some of the examples that we have, which I wanted to share under the OIF program, which we have funded, is the bank's loan to the Narayan Group for acquiring Health City in Cayman Islands under the OIF program. Similarly, we also have part financed the working capital requirements for Lab Systems Diagnostics Finland, which is a 100% subsidiary of Trivicton Healthcare Private Limited, Chennai. The idea of giving few examples over here is to give a kind of a overview as to where all Exim has supported. Obviously, it's not possible to list out all the companies that we have funded or assisted, but I just picked up a few relevant based on the focus sectors which this state of Telangana is looking at. Now coming to another product which is offered by the bank is the product called the Research and Development Program, wherein we encourage Indian exporters to invest in R&D. It could be for developing new products or processes. The funding can go to research institutions or foundations or SPVs by the Indian companies. The very important part over here is that we fund both capital and revenue expenditure. And these loans can be extended in Indian rupees, dollars and international currencies that the bank deals with. Repayment and tenors are structured as per the requirement of the funding. But the export orientation that we look at for any kind of finance under this particular program is generally 20%. Coming to some examples, again under the healthcare sector, we have supported Emcure Pharmaceuticals with a term loan of 85 crores for its R&D activities. IM Exchange, for setting up their R&D and technology center. Cadila Pharmaceuticals in Ahmedabad for their R&D expenditure. Genova Biopharmaceuticals Limited, wherein we had supported to meet the cash flow requirement during the clinical trial stage for development of mRNA vaccine for COVID-19. Another significant portion of our portfolio goes in financing project exports. In the recent years, Indian companies have secured diverse contracts across geographies, thereby indicating their strong execution capabilities. So we have been encouraging project exporters, and enabling them to secure contracts across various regions. These are basically companies which are into civil and engineering construction projects, turnkey projects, supply contracts, technical and consultancy services. If you look at the sectors that we have a very predominant presence, it would be in the areas of construction, transmission and distribution, engineering goods, to name a few. Companies wherein we have a significant exposure would be in KEC, Afcons, NCC Limited, a Hyderabad-based company. And the countries range right from Australia to Mozambique, to name a few. And as of March 31st, 2021, we've had 38 project contracts valued at 27,000 crores, which are under execution in several countries, 29 countries across various continents, and that which have been executed or which are being executed by 25 Indian companies. Some of the examples that we have funded under the project exports vertical are setting up. It is basically a line given to line given for maintenance contract at New Al Sabah Hospital project in Kuwait. This is a guarantee facility that was granted, and if you look at it, the currency is in Kuwaiti dinar. This was to Shapoorji Group. Coming to a company which is based out in Hyderabad, we have funded Tata Advanced Systems by giving them LC for part financing their LC requirements, and this is for a contract which was awarded to them by the Ministry of Defence under the Make and Buy India category. Coming to one of the niche products that the bank has, wherein we are mandated or we act on the behest of the Government of India, is the lines of credit. Now, this is a program which offers risk-free financing option to Indian exporters, and this enables Indian exporters to target new geographies, expand businesses in existing markets, and most importantly, without having any payment related risks from the overseas borrowers or importers. If we look at it, Exim has so far has about 315 LOCs covering 64 countries with credit commitments of about more than $31.72 billion. During the last financial year, we have sanctioned or issued 17 LOCs aggregating to 2 billion, and these are the countries where we have extended LOCs, the governments of Angola, Guinea, Kenya, to name a few. To promote India's trade and economic relations with developing countries, the Government of India had launched the India Development and Economic Assistance Scheme, that is called the IDEA scheme. This is primarily with a view of or the objective of sharing India's developmental experience through capacity building, skill transfer, trade and infrastructure development. These lines of credit are funded, operated and monitored by Exim Bank, and this is on the behest of the Government of India. We have few LOCs on our own, but predominantly our lines of credit are with the behest of the government and under the support of Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Finance. Some of the LOCs that we have extended under the healthcare sector is we have about 12 LOCs aggregating to 1.6 billion, extended to some countries in Africa, which are for various projects, If you look at it right from Cote d'Ivoire to Guinea, Mauritius, Zambia, different kind of projects that have been funded under these LOCs. Just to cite a few, we have extended lines of credit of 50 million and 18 million to government of Zambia for financing the prefabricated health posts. We also have funded a healthcare project in Togo. This is for supply installation of ultrasound scanners, and this was supported under a line of 250 million to the ECOWAS Bank for International for Investments and Development. Another noteworthy mention is a line of credit of 29.95 million to the government of Republic of Kenya for upgrading the Rift Valley Textile Limited, which was producing face masks for the supply to Kenyan medical authorities. Under the defense sector, we again have a few noteworthy LOCs which we have given to various countries in Mauritius, Bangladesh, Suriname, aggregating to 625 million, and these are for supply of water jet fast attack crafts to Mauritius, aircrafts and fast interceptor boats again to Mauritius. Coming to another product that the bank offers is the buyer credit under NEAI. This is buyer's credit under National Export Insurance Account. This is a fund, this is a trust set up by the Ministry of Commerce and administered by ECGC. This is again for promoting India's export project exports to traditional as well as new markets in developing countries, and which need deferred credit on medium or long-term basis. Generally, credit periods range from 8 to 20 years, and the sovereign guarantee of the borrowing country would be a requisite for this particular product. The buyer credit exposure, again, we have, as on date, we have sanctioned about $2.88 billion for 32 projects. This is as on March 31st, 2021, and across various geographies. Coming to another, from the services point, these are the major products that the bank had offered, but we also have a very strong presence in the services that the bank offers. This is a grassroots initiative development and market advisory services. This is basically for rural entrepreneurs, rural artisans. We try to do some kind of training capability or capacity building exercises. These are few examples that we have displayed over here. There are several of them. This is basically so that the traditional crafts and expertise is continued, and generally companies trusts and cooperatives are associated under this particular line. These are registered trusts or cooperatives or producer companies who are working with communities at the grassroots level and are engaged in promoting income generating activities. Another major work or the service that the bank provides is in the form of research and analysis. Now, we have a group of dedicated economists and strategists who are a part of this team, who give a lot of inputs to external stakeholders as well as internal constituents. External stakeholders, I've just named a few. They do a lot of inputs to the Government of India and the Reserve Bank. They give their inputs for policy formulations. They are at a high level government committee representation. They come out with very unique paper public portal called Eximitra. This is a portal which will be a single point, kind of advisory, consultancy, or a guidance for anybody who's looking at getting into any kind of export activities. I will just end my presentation here. Thank you so much.